The story begins in pitch darkness with a voice murmuring in pain and confusion. "Could it be a brain hemorrhage?" said the murmuring voice, anxious and in a hurry to wake up, not wanting to die young.
The owner of the voice opens his eyes slowly, staring at his hands, wondering if he is awake. He props himself up with one hand and rubs his temples with the other to ease his headache. After he calms down, he was shocked to find out where he was. He saw a desk he did not recognize, in a room he did not recognize, under a strange red moon.
He turns around and takes a few steps toward the standing mirror in the room. When he saw himself with the help of the mirror, he was surprised to see what he looked like. "Is this me, Zhou Mingrui? Could it be that I've transmigrated?" he asked.
Zhou Mingrui have read a lot of web novels about transmigration. He never thought he would experience transmigration himself. LOL, guess he won the lottery. After calming down and gathering his thoughts, he tried remembering what had happened pending to his transmigration. He remembered being unlucky recently and bought a luck enhancement book from a street vendor on his way back home from work. He followed the instructions on the book and performed the luck enhancement ritual. The ritual didn't help enhance his luck one bit, LOL. It can't be. Did I transmigrate because of the luck enhancement ritual? Recapped Zhou Mingrui. All of a sudden Zhou Mingrui's head started hurting. What followed was him seeing memories of the previous owner of his current body. His current body's name is Klein Moretti, a citizen of the Northern Continent's Lone Kingdom, from the city of Tingen in Alwa County. His father was a sergeant in the Imperial Army and sacrificed himself during a colonial conflict with the Southern Continent. With the pension paid to his family, Klein had the opportunity to enroll in a private grammar school. His mother passed away the same year Klein passed the entrance exams for KHOY University. She was a devotee of the Evernight goddess. Klein currently lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with his elder brother and younger sister. The elder brother, who works as a cleaner, is the breadwinner of the family of 3. As a history graduate, Klein is well versed in ancient Phasak language, which is the mother of all languages spoken in the northern continent. He also knows Hermes language, which is often used to pray and sacrifice offering. Suddenly Zhou Mingrui came to and recalled Hermes language and a notebook on the desk. Written in Hermes language in the book on the desk was "Everyone will die, including me?" Zhou Mingrui wondered, why are his hands so dirty? Blood? Zhou Mingrui's temple hurts a lot. Then he turns to the full body mirror to check it out. There is a FN bullet wound on his head with his brain exposed, LOL. End of chapter 1. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this manhwa. Hail Hydra! How is this possible? There's no way anyone could survive such a serious injury, thought Zhou Mingrui. Zhou Mingrui was surprised to find out the wound on his head was already half healed. He thought, like any rational person would, have doubts about what he is currently experiencing. Zhou Mingrui stepped away from the full body mirror and walked towards the table and stared at the revolver on it. He finally asked the question we have all been waiting for since chapter 1, how did he inanimate himself? Zhou Mingrui picked up the gun and noticed one bullet is missing. So, this is what inanimate me? He asked. He leaned down to pick up a bullet on the floor stained with blood. During this process he wondered if it was a suicide or murder. Zhou Mingrui knew it wasn't easy for the family to get by, so how could Klein Moretti afford a gun to commit the act? He began analyzing the process of his death with the clues he has seen so far. Next scene, Zhou Mingrui is in the bathroom washing his face while lamenting about Klein memories being fragments only. Zhou Mingrui turned off the tap and cleaned his face with a handkerchief. At least he finally cleaned himself up, XD. He plans to clean up the blood in his room so his younger sister Melissa won't see it. Fast forward to the next day. It's early in the morning and Zhou Mingrui, aka Klein, is fiddling around with the revolver, and the door creaked open behind him. Klein was startled and also dropped the revolver. "Klein? What are you doing?" asked Melissa as stands at the entrance of the room and stares at her second elder brother. Klein quickly turned around and hid the revolver behind him and brought out their father's pocket watch, showing it to Melissa, saying he was trying to fix it, that the hands don't work. Melissa just stands there and stared at Klein blankly while Klein was sweating from his back. XD. Few seconds later, Melissa told Klein to give the watch to her. Klein was surprised. Nothing less, he gave Melissa the watch while he sneakily kept the revolver in the table drawer behind him. Father's pocket watch. It's probably best if I'm the one who fixes it, said Melissa. Klein's younger sister Melissa is 16 years old and the youngest in the family. She's a student at Tingen Technical School's Steam and Machinery Department. Her dream is to become a steam mechanic. May the force be with her. XD. This little sister. She's exactly as Klein remembers. She appears to have some serious talent when it comes to mechanical things, thought Zhou Mingrui, Klein. Shortly after, Melissa hands the watch back to Klein as she's done fixing it. Klein compliments Melissa, while Melissa already made her way to door and staring at Klein like a pedophile. Clears throat. LOL. Melissa placed a plate with 2 loaves of bread on the table while telling Klein to buy some fresh bread, meat and pea as well. Klein is about to have an interview for a job, so Melissa is planning to make lamb and pea stew. Melissa reminded Klein that he should buy fresh bread, and only 8 pounds of it, and also the lamb and peas. Klein said all right while smiling awkwardly and thinking of how his sister shows her nerd brother loving concern by re-emphasizing herself. Klein was also thinking of, after getting the grocery later in the day, he could attempt the luck enhancement ritual to transmigrate back. After having his meal and Melissa left for school, Klein started rummaging the bunk bed for something. His hand bumps into an item on the bed and he found what he was looking for. Shortly after, Klein left the house with his jacket and hat on to get the groceries Melissa told him about. Klein walks through a slightly bustling street with people buying and selling. He thought how, no matter what world, the markets used by lower class are always going to be lively. While looking around, Klein brought out all the money from his jacket. He stared at it and thought, no matter which world you are in, money will always be cute. Shortly after, he became depressed. Even though he transmigrated, he's still dirty poor. Me too bro, I feel your pain, cries in Spanish. Klein soon cheered up. He can't wait to get back home after getting the groceries so he can perform the luck enhancement ritual. He wants to go back to his world. Klein soon got to Mrs. Smiren's shop to purchase 8 pounds of fresh bread. Klein greets her and told her what he needs. She asks about Klein's elder brother, Benson, and he tells her he will be gone for a few days. She says Benson is a hard-working young man and will find a good wife. Mrs. Smiren chatted with Klein about him being a graduate and will soon be making money, so he shouldn't be living in a shared bathroom apartment no more. Klein smiled and complimented her. Given the fragmented nature of the memories currently at my disposal, there's no way I'll be able to take the upcoming job interview. Moreover, I have to transmigrate back. My friends and my wonderful life back home are all waiting for me, thought Klein while smiling and waiting for Mrs. Smiren. The 8 pounds of bread cost a total of 9 pence. Klein was surprised that the cost reduced. Normally this quantity of bread cost 11 pence few days back and even more 2 months ago. Mrs. Smiren tells him they have the repealing of the grain ACT to thank and the people who marched and protect. While Klein was walking on the street with bread in hand, there was a clown advertising for his circus show. He gave Klein an invite. Klein took the invite and saw the show was tomorrow. While walking forward, Klein thought Melissa would enjoy the circus show and wondered the cost of tickets. Would you like me to tell your fortune? Asked a woman in witch robe and big pointy heart. Fortune? Asked Klein as he stopped in his track and turned back. She kept smiling. Klein said no. But the woman insists her tarot divination is very accurate. Klein thought about the tarot. Again, it is pronounced almost the same way as it is on Earth. Now that he thought about the tarot cards in this world, they were invented over 170 years ago by Rosel Gusta, who was the consul of the Intis Republic at the time and did not originate from the 7 Orthodox gods. Mr. Rosel invented the steam engine, improved the sailboat, and overthrew the rule of the Intis kingdom. The Church of the God of Craftsmanship gave him recognition, and he became the first consul of the Intis Republic. Later on, he waged war on multiple nations. Lindberghs, and a number of other countries, became protectorate of the Intis Republic. The Leon Kingdom, Fanapotter, the Faysak Empire, and other powerful countries in the northern continent were also forced to bow down to him. From there, he turned the Intis Republic into the Intis Empire, and he named himself Emperor Caesar. It was during Rosel's reign that the Church of the God of Craftsmanship received its first public divine revelation since the 5th epoch. After that, the God of Craftsmanship was renamed the God of Steam and Machinery. Rosel also invented tarot divination, and he established the current system of paper-based cards, as well as the ways that they could be played. Among those ways were many Zhou Mingrui recognized. For example, there was Wark, Texas Hold EM and Gwent. Unfortunately, he was betrayed during the later years of his life. In the year 1198 of the 5th epoch, the Church of the Eternal Blazing Sun, together with the Sauron family and other noble families from the former Intis kingdom, assassinated him. And he perished in the White Maple Palace. Based off my memory fragments, this Emperor Caesar, could he be my senior in transmigration? If it's not, if the price is reasonable, I'll give it a try, said Klein to the woman with a pointy heart. She says Klein is her first person to come for divination for the day, therefore it's free of charge. They both walked to her tent and sat across each other with a lamp on the table illuminating the room. The cards were the same as they were on Earth. It's starting to look more and more like Rosel might be my senior, thought Klein as she handed him a deck of cards to shuffle and cut. He shuffled the cards and placed the deck on the table. She asked him what he would like for her to divine about the past, the present, and the future. The past, present, and the future? Asked Klein. She told Klein to shuffle the cards again, because only if he shuffles after he knows what he wants to ask will the cards give him truly pertinent answers. Klein was not happy on the inside. He thought she was messing with him. XD. He shuffles the cards for the second time and asked her, "Hope there's no problem this time." She replied there wasn't any. She picks a card from the deck and says it represents the past. She picks a second card which symbolizes the present, and the third card heralds the future. She asks him which card would he like to look at first. Klein pondered for a second and chose to look at his present. She flips the card and it was the Fool card. The Fool? The tarot card that's numbered 0? If I remember correctly, it represents a beginning of some kind. What does it mean in this case? A beginning that branches out into endless possibilities? Klein thought to himself. As she was about to explain the meaning of the Fool card, a young lady with a hoodie over her head burst open the tent and scolded the woman with the pointy heart why she was impersonating her again. "Oh, boy. Ha ha ha. Hurry and head back. Don't forget. You're just an animal trainer," scolded the young lady with hoodie over her head. "Telling people their fortune is my job," said the young lady. The young lady asked if she should interpret his cards for him. Klein was surprised at first, but then asked if she would for free, and she said no. Klein was walking in the street and thought about how he was about to get a tarot reading from an animal trainer. Sounds comical, ha ha ha. At least he got all the food that Melissa tasked him to get. Klein calculated how much he spent on groceries to be 2 soldi and 1 penny. The penny was from his own pocket. He felt sorry for Benson, who is the breadwinner of the family. He was finally done with grocery shopping and can't wait to get home now that he has staple food to carry out the luck enhancement ritual. Klein got home and got busy translating the ritual words from Chinese to ancient Phasak and Leon language, as it was too difficult for him to translate it to Hermes language. He placed the staple food in the four corners of his room and started performing the luck enhancement ritual. Blessing stems from the immortal Lord of Heaven and Earth. Blessing steams from the Sky Lord of Heaven and Earth. Blessing stems from the immortal Lord of Heaven and Earth. Blessing stems from the Sky Lord of Heaven and Earth. Klein, can I go back now? Has there been any effect? Might something unexpected happen? All of a sudden he starts hear strange sounds and murmuring around him and could barely open his eyes. He wondered who was talking to him. Klein regretted his decision as he fell to his knees, feeling excruciating pain in his head as if a nail is being driven into it. He felt his head was truly going to explode from all the murmuring, and strange voice was screaming at his ear. He finally slopped on the floor and lost consciousness while holding his head with both hands.